But what do you make of the whole idea of, you know, going to an ex for love advice, or even giving love advice to an ex, whether it's been asked for or not?
I love the way that we pretend that we know that that's what Gwyneth did.
We have
you know?
no
I mean,
idea whether that's actually the case or not.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, if she did, it's worked, because it appears they are back together, if indeed they ever split in the first place. That's Dakota and Chris. Would I? I am very proud that after a 24-year marriage, when Tim, the boy's dad, and I divorced, because there was another divorce, that we, after a bumpy start, have managed to salvage a lovely friendship out of it, and that includes Joe, his lovely wife, and Lincoln. And I've said before on this show, we all spend Christmas together. We don't go on holidays together, but we share in our son's successes and failures, and it's really nice to be able to do that, because that was one of the things I dreaded most, that we wouldn't be able to be together for our you know, the highlights of our son's lives, really. And Joe and I have talked over the years, because obviously at first, the new girlfriend or wife is going to hear everything about the breakup of the relationship from that person's point of view. And I think that eventually they realise that there's maybe two sides to it. So, you know, just thought I'd get that in.
Beautifully done.
I was thinking
thank you very much.
But very well.
But Joe and I do chat. We don't spend loads of time together, but we do chat. And I would hope that if there was ever a problem, which thankfully there isn't, that she would feel that she could come to me. And I would, you know, I mean, I don't know what advice I could give her, but I do feel that she could certainly come to me. And she's certainly someone, you know, even though she didn't have a relationship with Lincoln, or at least I don't think she did, I would also maybe go to her. But having said that, if we were talking about my first ex-husband, I would never have been asked for advice, and I never would have given any girl advice, because I didn't really care. I just thought, good luck to the pair of you, do you know what I mean? You probably deserve each other.
I think that's telling enough. I've actually done it with an ex of mine, where this was obviously after we'd broken up, and he got together with a thoroughly nice woman, and then they had split up, and he got in touch with me, very upset, and said, "You know me inside out. Could you maybe have a word with her and see if and help me woo her back?"
What, you didn't say, run for your life?
I thought, no, you can have him. No, so I did.
That could become complicated, couldn't you, if you just really want to be rid of them?
Yeah.
But, oh, do I tell the truth? He might come back.
Well, no, do you know, you know, I've been through some really bumpy times in my life, but the one thing that I'm not is bitter. So I just thought it's. The two of them are still together now, which is lovely. But I did, because I was asked to, I'd never get involved if I wasn't. Yeah, without being asked. But I did. I got in touch and sort of said, you know what, it's the same sort of thing. They'd heard one side and actually figured out the other, and got the two of them sort of back on the road again. And it was nice, and I was happy to do it. And they're still together.
I'm just trying to think if.
I think I picked my way around that nicely.
Yes,
well.
yes.
I'm trying to think of it the other way round, and if Mark were to talk to an ex about us, I think I'd really hate that. You don't know what I mean.
No,
do
I'm trying to work out
I'm not sure
dynamic.
But you know what I mean. If he talked to an ex of mine,
but if
he was struggling with me,
oh, I see.
So you've got the two guys together. Can we just go down and have a chat about Nadia?
I think it depends what the relationship has been like when it ends, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah.
No, but for me, I think I don't think I'd like it at all. I really wouldn't, because I think it just gets too complicated, that.
Yeah.
Because everybody, even if you're trying to do something you believe altruistically, you are going to be investing a bit of what you really think. Is it the healthiest person to ask? I would say, really. Somebody that's come out of a relationship.
The thing is, I just feel that I'm happier if my boy's dad is happier, and I know that he's happy in this relationship. So I would want that.
I agree,
Which
yeah.
it is wonderful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never been in a relationship where it's finished and I'm still talking to. Does that say a lot about me or what? I don't know.
I'm not in touch with any of my exes through my
I don't
whole
know
life.
if I did that on purpose or if that's by design but obviously with an ex where I was physically abused, the only thing I would do if I found out that they were going with somebody, I would maybe try and contact them to let them know that, you know, there was some physical abuse in that relationship.
Would you?
Yeah, because it's not nice to go into that blind.
What if somebody had, like, in the early days of you being together with this person, had contacted you and said, listen, I heard you're seeing this guy. I just want to let you know.
That he did this.
Would you have listened?
I would have listened,
Because
actually.
it's so hard when you first really like somebody, isn't it? To actually listen to any advice about
my
them.
grandmother always talks about wolves in sheep's clothing, so I will listen. If any advice you can give me that will save my skin and my face, I will listen. Yes,
But it's funny, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because we'll often get...
I was warned and I didn't listen.
Well, that's the thing is we can often get really blinding red flags in front of our eyes going like this and we don't listen.
I'm now being asked about by my ex-fiancé about their children because my ex-fiancé's son's just come out of Love Island, so now he's ringing me asking how he can cope with it all.
Oh, really? God, how funny. Oh, Chris.
Yes.
Lovely Chris with the hair.
Taylor. I mean, he is coping with it, but it's a bit overwhelming, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, so I'm still friends with that ex-fiancé as well, Brenda.
No, I think it's admirable to be able to pass through and then still stay friends. I've just never been able to do it.
So it also depends as well whether, like you said, whether you've got children or not. If someone is an ex and you've both moved on and you don't have any kind of link with them,
that's
that
right.
Why would you keep in touch?
That's right. It's
other than
when you have children.
Yeah. I mean, I know I do have an ex that I keep in touch with, but you know we've not had children or anything, and I'm interested to hear what he's up to and
how he is.
Yeah, and that sort of thing. But there we go.